Song for a Whale, Chapter 8. The weekend of my grounding dragged by even worse than I expected. My friend Wendell was out of town with his family, so I couldn't hang out at his house. Tristan and his friend Adam had moved the TV radio record player to my closet. Now and then, I'd open the door to take a peek, but I couldn't crack it open yet. After clearing out my room, I didn't even have a screwdriver left. Still, I felt better just knowing the Admiral set was close by, waiting for me. While lying on my bed with my phone, I searched online for the whale. Ever since Ms. Alamila had showed us that video in class, I'd been thinking about Blue 55 and the people who tried to tag him with the tracker. I couldn't remember the name of the sanctuary from the video, but it came up after a quick search about Blue 55's tagging. The Meet Our Residents page on the sanctuary's website showed a picture of each animal that lived there, along with a description. Either the sanctuary staff had found them injured or sick, or someone had called for help when they found them hurt in the water or on the beach. The animals lived either in large sea pens or indoor pools until they were healthy enough to return to the wild. Most of the animals were birds or seals and sea lions. One dolphin they'd have to move indoors if they couldn't release him before winter hit Alaska. For some, the sanctuary would always be their home. The eagle, who was blind in one eye, couldn't hunt for food in the wild. He probably didn't understand why he couldn't fly outdoors anymore. The otter orphans had an outdoor pool to swim in. They'd have to live at the sanctuary forever, too. They had lost their mothers when they were so young that they hadn't learned how to be otters. I wondered about the animals who had been taken in when they were older and still remembered their old homes. Their sanctuary staff would release them close to where they'd been found, in hopes they'd find their families. They couldn't promise it would happen, though. The released animals might have to make it on their own. At the top of the page, labeled "The Staff," was a picture of a few people in light blue shirts with their arms around one another, smiling in front of the sanctuary. The caption of the photo said that it was the expedition team that tried to tag Blue 55 the year before. After scrolling through some of the posts, I found one about the failed attempt to tag Blue 55. The tracker they wanted to put on him would collect information not just about where he swam, but other things too, like his heart rate. It would also record his song. They'd share information about him on their website if they ever did tag him. Now, I really wish they'd tagged him. If they shared what they recorded from that, I'd get to feel his song and heartbeat through a computer speaker. A picture showed Blue 55's back arching out of the water next to a small boat. Mounted to the front of the boat was a metal platform with railings on either side. A woman wearing a stocking cap and a green fleece jacket stood at the edge of the platform, holding a long metal pole outstretched toward the whale. It looked like she'd topple over the railing and into the ocean if she leaned over any farther to reach him. The caption read, "Near miss, Blue 55 takes a dive before sanctuary staffer Andy Rivera can attach a tracking device." The tracker at the end of the pole looked close enough to brush the whale's back. A grimace lined Andy's face, either from effort or disappointment. The next photo showed water cascading down Blue 55's huge tail as he started his deep dive. Andy had been so close to him before he slipped away. Maybe she was only interested in him as a scientist, but she tried so hard to reach him. Maybe she really cared about him too. If Blue 55 followed the route he usually did, he'd be near the sanctuary soon. A new post said that the team would try again to tag him. They didn't say what they would do differently next time, so they could get close enough to attach the tracker before he swam away. Maybe there was a way to get him to stick around a little longer. At the bottom of the page was a link to more information about Blue 55's communication. That article used piano keys to describe whale song frequencies. If you sit down at a piano and hit the lowest key, the very first one on the left, that plays the frequency of 27.5 hertz. That's the frequency of most baleen whale songs. They sing lower than that, too, like 20 hertz or 10 hertz, but pianos didn't have a key that played that low. Count over to the key number 13, and you'll play 55 hertz, Blue 55's frequency, and the reason he couldn't talk to any other whale. Already, I was thinking of a way to reach out to him. At my desk, I grabbed a scrap of paper to jot down some notes. I didn't know yet how it would work, but maybe the people who wanted to tag Blue 55 could find a way to sing back to him and hold his attention with something that sounded a bit like himself. As I wrote, a thought came up that crumbled the edges of my plan. Maybe he was like that sei whale on the beach, except that he'd found a way to survive. On the sanctuary's post about Blue 55's communication, I scanned the comments section to see if anyone wondered the same thing I had. No one suggested it yet, so I scrolled back up and left a comment. Maybe the whale is deaf.